Hello everyone, welcome to the channel No Spear. This is Sheshadri Kulkarni. In this video we are going to know about Union Budget of India, what it is. So let us begin. What is budget? Budget is an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. Union Budget of India. Union Budget is the annual budget of Indian government. According to Article 112 of the Indian Constitution, the Union Budget of year is known as Annual Financial Statement. Article 112, first point says that the President shall, in respect of every financial year, cause to be laid before both the Houses of Parliament a statement of the estimated receipts and expenditure of the Government of India for that year, in this part referred to as the Annual Financial Statement. The government budget gets approval through a consultative process involving the Ministry of Finance, Niti Aayog, and other ministries. It is prepared by the Department of Economic Affairs under the Ministry of Finance for fiscal year, that is, financial year that runs from 1st April to 31st March. According to Article 112, the President is responsible for submitting the budget to the Lok Sabha. And according to Article 77 Clause 3, the President has delegated the Union Finance Minister the responsibility of preparing the budget. It says that the President shall make rules for the more convenient transaction of the business of the Government of India and for the allocation among ministers of the said business. Budget session. It is considered as highly important session of the Parliament. The Union Budget session begins with the President's address to the joint sitting of both the Houses of Parliament. The first Union Budget of independent India was presented by R.K. Shanmugam Shetty on 26th November 1947. The budget is presented by the Finance Minister to Parliament each year during the budget session in February. Until 2016, it was presented on the last working day of February, but from 2017, it is presented on first day of February, so that it could be materialized before the beginning of the new financial year in April. And for departing from the colonial era tradition of presenting the Union Budget on the last working day of February, then Minister of Finance Arun Jaitley in the NDA government of Narendra Modi announced that it will now be presented on 1st February. And also in the same year 2017, a 92-year-old tradition was broken when the railway budget was merged with the Union Budget and presented together. Prior to this, rail budget was presented separately. Budget is presented by means of finance bill. It has to be passed by Lok Sabha before it comes into effect from April 1st. Until the year 1999, the Union Budget was announced at 5 p.m. on the last working day of month of February. This was also inherited from colonial era. The main reason for this was it gives Britishers the time of 11:30 am a relaxation time at their location. Another reason was that until 1990s, all budgets seemed to do was to raise taxes, and presentation in evening gave producers and the tax collecting agencies to work out the change in the prices. Yashwant Sinha, the then Finance Minister of India in the NDA government under Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, changed the ritual by announcing the 1999 Union Budget at 11 am. The tradition started from 2001. There are few iconic budgets presented by some of the finance ministers of India. They are Black Budget, presented by Yashwantrao Chauhan for the year 1973-74. Carrot and Stick Budget, presented by VP Singh on February 28 for the year 1986. Epochal Budget presented by Dr. Manmohan Singh in 1991. Dream Budget presented by P. Chidambaram for the year 1997-98. Millennium Budget presented by Yashwant Sinha in 2000. Rollback Budget presented by Yashwant Sinha for the year 2002-2003. And Once in a Century Budget presented by Nirmala Sitharaman for the year 2021-2022 on February 1st, 2021. Halwa Ceremony. Halwa ceremony is a customary event that marks the final stage of preparation process of union budget. It is held few days before the budget is to be presented. Halwa, a sweet dish, is prepared in large quantities and served to officers and support staff involved. The halwa is served by the finance minister. It involves the finance minister stirring a large pan of halwa and distributing among officials and staff directly associated with the budget process, its preparation and printing. Staying in the north block, cut off from everyone including their families till the budget is presented. This ceremony is performed as a part of Indian tradition of having something sweet before starting an important work. Bahi Khata. Until 2018, as part of tradition, finance ministers carried the budget in a leather briefcase. On 5th July 2019, Nirmala Sitharaman broken this tradition by carrying the budget in Bahi Khata, ledger wrapped in a red cloth. This year, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman displayed digital Bahi Khata outside North Block as a move to strengthen Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambitious Digital India mission. Union budget is classified into revenue budget and capital budget. Revenue budget includes government's revenue receipts and expenditure. There are two kinds of revenue receipts, tax and non-tax revenue. Revenue expenditure is the expenditure incurred on day-to-day functioning of the government and on various services offered to citizens. Capital budget includes capital receipts and payments of the government. Loans from the public, foreign governments and RBI form a major part of the government's capital receipts. Capital expenditure is the expenditure on development of machinery, equipment, building, health facilities, education, etc. The receipts and expenditures are shown under three parts, namely the Consolidated Fund of India and the Public Account of India, Article 266, and the Contingency Fund of India, Article 267. Interim Budget. An interim budget is presented by a government that is going through a transition period or is in its last year in office ahead of general elections. It does not present full budget. For example, recently in 2019, then Finance Minister Piyush Goyal presented an interim budget just few months before the general elections. Now the question comes, why not just let the new government present a full budget? The answer will be, the union budget presented by government is valid till the end of financial year, that is March 31st. In other words, it gives government spending rights only up to that date. So when the government is unable to present a full budget before the end of the financial year, it needs parliamentary approval to incur expenses from the time the new financial year kick off until a new budget is passed, hence the word interim. Vote on account. Through the interim budget, Parliament passes a vote on account which basically gives the government temporary permission to meet the expenses of administration until the elections. In Parliament, the budget goes through following stages: presentation, general discussion, scrutiny, that is critical observation or examination, voting, Passing an appropriation bill, passing of finance bill. Recently, Finance Minister of India Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget of India of year 2023-24. See the highlights of Union Budget of India 2023-2024 on the website pib.gov.in released by Ministry of Finance of India. So friends, this was about Union Budget of India. Hope you loved this. Do like, share and subscribe the channel No Sphere for more such interesting informative videos. Thank you.